Welcome to another edition of Bowie TV's Youth, Community, and Lifestyle. During this hour, we're bringing you highlights from some of our shows focused on youth, community, and lifestyle. Please be sure to give us a follow on all of our social platforms. First, on How to Steam Your Dreams, check out the top highlights from the 2025 DMV Regionals. Then, tune into the City of Bowie's 2026 Special Election Candidates Forum for District 1. And on Yellow Couch Stories, Dr. Kaprece James talks empowering women and girls to make a change through education and leadership. Thank you for tuning into this week's programming of Bowie TV's Youth, Community, and Lifestyle.
Welcome, innovators and champions. I'm Roman Sudan Montego, founder of Steam Your Dreams and your host for the Ocean Bowl Games. Today, we kick off the 2025 DMV Regional Championships here in the Capital Region, right here in Rockville, Maryland, at the universities at Shady Grove, home to a powerful collaboration of 9 universities and a hub for high-impact careers and pathways. Together, we make it happen. Over the next 2 days, our Scholastic Esports plus Gamified STEM Expo brings the energy of competition and the curiosity of discovery together. Speaking for the Steam Your Dreams team, we're super excited to partner with Dr. Ann Kademian and the rest of the wonderful team here at the university's at Shady Grove campus. And, we're in this wonderful, beautiful, brand new, spacious building called the Biomedical and Sciences and Engineering building number 4. It's a place where, futures are being built every day. Inside this building, students have access to real-world learning spaces like a dental clinic. They got a health and nursing program right here on campus, of course, engineering labs, a 3D printing, prototyping center, graphic arts, and immersive media programs. This is no way theory. This is hands-on preparation for tomorrow's careers right here at the University of Shady Grove. Now, this is all powered due to our wonderful partners at AstraZeneca. Their headquarters is right here in the Montgomery County area and right here in the Life Science Corridor. We're super excited to work with Ms. Tiffany Lucas and learn what science can do for our kids to inspire them to solve some of the biggest challenges out there. So by opening these doors to young people, we are doing something powerful. We're giving kids exposure early, helping them to see what's possible, helping them to imagine themselves here. For many Montgomery County Recreation Center students this summer, these scholars and gamers, this may be the first time they stepped inside a place like this. And that moment matters. AstraZeneca's commitment to the K-12 STEM education is about more than awareness. It's about access, exposure, and inspiration. What science can do is help young people to see themselves as innovators, as problem solvers, as future scientists, engineers, designers, and healthcare leaders. When universities open their doors and when industry steps in to partner, and when we have together with after-school programming and then classroom programming provided by and integrated into local schools, we build community, and the community shows up. And that's exactly what science can do. For many of our gamers, this is the first time in a competition like this. There's excitement, there's nerves, and a lot of new faces. Learning how to manage those emotions, the pressure, and the teamwork, sometimes for the very first time. So because this is just about speed and then, connecting to strangers, it's really about learning how to build that grit up, develop that perseverance, and learning how to collaborate. Our kids see sports stars, influencers, and content creators in their feeds. And sure, those paths can be exciting, but today, we also show them STEM heroes, scientists, engineers, developers, innovators who literally change the world. These are the careers that pay well, give back, and solve real problems. And their imagination, it needs STEM to bring that to life, and that's what we instill in these wonderful children.
What makes the difference to our health? Let's start with the earth beneath our feet. Because the health of our planet is connected to our own health. Take the air we breathe. Illness is worsening with pollution. the rising temperatures we feel, increasing risks from existing health conditions. Climate impacts often hitting the vulnerable the hardest. But through partnership, we can transform healthcare. Sectors working together locally, countries collaborating globally, innovating to create ever more accessible medicines, building a more equitable and sustainable future with health systems ready to serve billions of lives. Lives as unique as their own genetic blueprints, revealing patterns and insights, genetic clues that human ingenuity is uncovering, amplified by pioneering technologies, progressing our understanding of disease. Diseases that scientists are deciphering with the help of AI, advancing treatments that could transform lives. Science is bringing people together, exploring a world of connections, making a big difference to our health.
High five going around.
I bet all that is a human pretending to be an animal. Okay, why did the shoes bring me out? I don't know why. Shoes just don't look right.
They stepping off a bus, coming in through their parents' cars. They're being dropped off. They got their shirts on, their jerseys. They got their clearly marked names on those jerseys. And they got their age and their group division. Each student or a scholar and gamer, they're gonna check in with their QR code badge. This gives us a fast, safe, and seamless way to welcome every player. From there, they're gonna go and be escorted into the kitchen or food area to get their healthy snack. They're gonna grab that and get some hydration. And then it's straight into the theater where they grab a seat with their closest team and friend in a rec center or with their team and their coach. And they're gonna learn the flow, the rules and the regulations and the mission of the day. Then it begins. They're gonna go to STEM expos to earn badges. They're gonna do STEAM-based micro-learning. They're gonna go to science, technology, engineering, art, and math. They're gonna have a safe place to play, learn, and create. There's nothing like Ocean Bowl games in the world. These kids will be showing emotions of excitement and joy, and you're gonna see that happiness is just something we do. Imagine it like Chuck E. Cheese, but it's Chuck E. Cheese where kids actually really do learn something. So, for instance, they get a magazine called A Sneaky Tray. So they're gonna, as you can see, some of the kids are gonna be reading that book. They got pens and pencils to prepare and do their math quizzes and activities in the book. So it's really a fun, cool, wonderful experience to be at. We're showing kids the pathways to STEAM their dreams.
Wow. I need a little more volume on this. That's right, let's get on beat. Give me a beat. Steam your. Let's try it again. Steam your. That's when you're supposed to say dreams, come on. Steam your. Follow me. All right, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Say good morning. All right, this is our first Ocean Bowl games, DMV Regionals ever. We're so grateful to universities at Shady Grove for hosting this year's Ocean Bowl games. And come on, Dr. N.
Good morning, everyone. Hey, you ready? Yeah. Ready for a great day? Yeah. Okay, welcome to the universities at Shady Grove. We are so excited to have you here. We're so excited to be hosting this exciting, big, first time ever DMV Regional as well here.
Yeah.
I want you all to have a great day. And I want you to remember this place when you're ready to go to college. Who wants to go to college? All right. I want to see every hand up, right? Okay. We want you here at City Grove for college, all right? We want you to study STEM, think about Shady Grove, okay? All right. I want to say thank you to the Steam Your Dreams team. You guys are amazing to work with. It's been phenomenal working with you. We can't wait to do this every single year.
And you heard that, every single year.
Every single year, all right?
Coach Howard, come on up with you. I want y'all to say hello to Coach Howard. Howard John, introduce yourself.
My name is Howard John. I'm actually on the board at Shady Grove, so shout out to the board members at the university. And also I run Black Men Agency, so when you have a moment of break, we have the virtual reality tours of DC. We have some other really fun engagements around VR and workforce training for STEM careers.
Well, that's our executive director at the Aquila Stevens. Coach, y'all say hello to Coach Aquila.
Good morning, everyone. So you can call me Coach P. Call me better. Akila's my first name, but call me Coach P. Everyone can say Coach PT. Coach PT. All right, no, thank you. We are super excited to have everyone in the building. As everyone has mentioned, we are about career pathways, and so giving that exposure. I'm big on seeing the change you want to see. And seeing it big. We got a whole group of volunteers back there from AstraZeneca ready to go support you today. And we're going to bring science to life for you. You are our next innovators. You are our next scientists, right? You are our next engineers. And so with that, we want to introduce Sonny. And Sonny's going to share a little bit about who he is and what he does at AstraZeneca.
Thanks, Tiffany. All right, I think everybody, wonderful. We're already winning by being here. So thank you very much for Steamy Dreams and all of the other sponsors. Thank you for our site hosts and volunteers at the back as well. I'm really excited to be here, and it's great for AstraZeneca to be involved as a local partner here. Why are we involved? Some of you, has anybody heard about AstraZeneca? Anybody know their hands up? Some hands up.
It's on your shirt.
There you go. So we do science, we make medicine. And why do we make medicine? Because patients are out there living with cancer, heart disease, breathing problems, and lots of other things that need to be treated. And how do we do that? We need scientists, we need doctors, we need data scientists, we need engineers, we need site manufacturing leads. All of these roles that all come from, at some point, kids like yourselves who got an interest in STEM and then stuck with it, went to university, got their degrees, and then came to work at AstraZeneca. So we are a big site, and we're looking forward, hopefully one day, for many of you to actually have the badge and come and work for us as well. And why is it really important? Because science, engineering, maths is really the fabric of what our technology and what our lives are built around, and more so as we go forward, right? Good luck in the next couple of days. I hope you really enjoy yourself. Dig in. I love the idea about creating networks. Talk to people that you don't know and make new friends. Whether they're this big or they're this big, it doesn't matter. And really enjoy yourself. So with that, I'll hand back to.
Thank you. Thanks. One of my meetings. How much money can I make?
Oh, well, that's really up to you.
I know. So let's say first I want to be a data scientist.
Well, if you're a good data scientist, you can probably make a hell of a lot of money right now with everything happening in AI.
Yeah.
Do you want to put a number on it?
Yeah, let's put it right.
Okay. If you want to make half a million a year, you can.
$500,000. What can you do with that? I don't know. All right. Thank you. Listen, I got another sponsor, a great friend of mine. We started this thing about 2 Ocean Bowls ago up in Baltimore. I want y'all to say hello to Miss Coach Dion from Bowl DMV. Please say something. Good morning.
McNeil. I'm the Vice President and Community Outreach Officer at Fulton Bank. We're excited to partner with Steam Your Dreams. And so we're here to really help you all learn a little bit more about money. That's the math part of STEAM, right? So when you guys come to visit our table, we'll talk to you guys about savings and income. And so when you become really big in your STEM career and making a lot of money, you can come and help have an account with Fulton Bank so that we can help you manage your money and grow, okay? So it's gonna be a fun day. Come by and visit us. I have our partners Pocket Change with us, and we're gonna have some really fun and exciting games. Pocket Change, they provide financial education through hip hop. So you guys are gonna learn more about that maybe tomorrow?
I think so. Is
Yes.
that
That could be here tomorrow. Right, so you guys are gonna have some fun on your last day. So have fun today. Come and see me, and also Miss Danielle, Coach Danielle, and build some new friendships and relationships, and have a good time.
Thank you, Coach. Y'all notice y'all been pressing the buttons. Please don't press the buttons. And the buttons I'm referring to the microphone. I know it's a pretty little white thing right in front of you that you can press to make your voice come through. But guess what? USG is brand new. Ain't it still brand new? Still got the car still, kind of. Okay. All right, we're not trying to tear apart our whole place. Remember, we're trying to come back here again and again and again. How many of y'all 8 years old? How many of y'all 8? How many of y'all 9?
No, we got one guy.
How many of y'all 10? How many of y'all 11? How many of y'all 12? How many of y'all 13? How many of y'all 14? How many of y'all 22? All right. We want to keep coming back. As you heard Dr. Ann, we're gonna be coming back here again next year for next year's Ocean Bowl Games Championship. We need a place to stay nice. There is filtrated water. So you have a water bottle. There's recycling bins. So please don't drop stuff on the floor and leave it there and pretend you didn't see it go there. This should be short and brief. I am watching the clock, which is great. And what we're going to try to do is we just need to cover the cams. We need to make sure they see the cam leaders. And I want to make sure you guys have studied your floor plan, right? Ground floor, downstairs. Please, no jumping on the stairs. Walk. There's no running at all here. We got a free play area in the corner over here. Okay, if you go out, you make a right, there's free play on over that way. Engineering is over there. Okay, y'all see me pointing that way. So when you come out the door, you start heading out, you take a quick peek and turn to your right and see that. Bathrooms are always, what, in the middle of the building? So even on every floor, there is a restroom for you to go to. And there's usually a water system there. If you have a bottle, you can refill. Do not, when you come down the stairs right here, do not jump on those pillows. Do not hang on those things. If we see you do that, this is what can happen. Justin?
Let's go ahead and check it out. Let's see what happens when you violate the rules. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure I remember going over this. I think we also went over something violent too. What was it? I think I remember calling people check. Does anybody remember check?
Right. Let's cover check. All right, I didn't say one of my favorite peoples in the world, DJ Mix. DJ Mix, what happens with anybody, every adult, every coach in here is blessed enough to give a check. Why? Because a check means we need attention. So when Coach Roman or Coach anybody says check, we want you to completely be silent. We want your eyes and your ears completely giving us attention. And when we play day 2 tomorrow, e-game, we want your hands to go up. We'll cover again that tomorrow. All right? The reason why, because you put the tablet down, we'll cover that tomorrow. But for now, let's practice. Check. Ready to sound effect? Coach Roman, I walk around with sound effects. I don't know how I do this.
But we have a card system that's officially in play. Each coach, lead coaches, anybody here will also give to the practice center staff as well. They have yellow cards. What do yellow cards mean? Alright, I think I got enough people saying that. What do orange cards mean? You are out of that can. And what does red card mean? You are out of the event. All coaches
Now, sometimes if we say check, if we don't have it fast enough, we'll wait. And that burns up your precious time. Okay? All right.
All coaches, not only will we have cards and flags, but we'll have dot stickers that we're going to be putting on your badge if we catch you. So that way everybody knows that we got to put it on the leaderboard. Because that's right, it's also on our leaderboard.
Leaderboards are stationed. There should be one big computer screen. I'm gonna put it in baby terms. All right? You can walk up and you can check where you are on the leaderboard. Everybody knows what a leaderboard is, right? Yep. All right. There's one on the ground level, there's one on this level here, this first floor, and there's one upstairs on the second floor, okay? You should see them, they're very big. You can't miss them. All right, we covered the rules. I'm watching the clock and I gotta get ready because when you leave up out of here, you should have enough time. Coaches, staff, and team, we gotta stay on point on time. So on your phones, let's just start the clock as soon as they get at 10:45, we should start that first cam. As you can see on the board, you're gonna start your first cam. If you're group 1, you're going to science. For science, we have AstraZeneca again. What are they gonna experience? What are they gonna experience?
All right, in science, you're going to experience the ultimate patient experience where we're going to help bring our science to life, how we help treat and cure patients. So you're going to learn about how to help treat cancer and other diseases.
Nice.
Good evening, everybody, and thank you so much for coming to this forum. So you all have the opportunity to see, hear from, ask of, and meet the 4 candidates who wish to serve on Bowie City Council, thanks to the vacancy created by your election of our Mayor Mike. And the way the format is going to be this evening is I'm going to ask the candidates to introduce themselves. They will each have 2 minutes to say whatever they want, and after they're finished, then Gary will come and ask them a couple of questions to kind of get it going, followed by me coming back and facilitating you all asking them questions. And as you formulate those questions, we ask that you address it to each candidate, that it's not one or whatever. I want to remind us that this is a forum, not a debate. So we're not going to have any back and forth. It's just a matter of getting information. Are there any questions? All right. Well,
so
yes, sir.
We can't address all 4 of them?
Yes, that's what our wish is, that you address. The question will go to all 4.
Thank you.
Okay. Clarify. Now, shall we begin? And Stephen, you're there. You get to start first, but we will rotate.
Thank you, Sue.
Good evening, neighbors. Thank you so much for being here this evening. My name is Stephen Donnelly, and I would like to be your next District 1 representative. I am a native Marylander. My wife Catalina and I have lived in Bowie for 5 years. 5 wonderful years. The city has given our family everything that I could have possibly asked for. My wife and I got married in our backyard. We are raising our 3-year-old daughter at St. Matthews. She goes to St. Matthews and she's learning to swim at Whitehall Pool. We love our life here, and I believe the future of Bowie is bright. I want to give back. For more than a decade, I've been serving nonprofits, helping them secure the resources that they need to complete their missions. I started with the Boy Scouts of America for 7 years after completing a research contract with the U.S. Forest Service. For the past 4 years, I've been serving the Salvation Army, helping to feed, clothe, and shelter our most vulnerable neighbors in Maryland. This work has taught me how to navigate tight budgets, how to stretch resources. Skills that are important for an organization to remain strong and to succeed. District 1 has the oldest infrastructure in the city. And so it is crucial that we are able to address the needs of our districts. And as you know, if you've seen the budget that is coming up, we are going to be in a corrective phase for some years. And I just want to ensure that District 1 is taken care of, that Bowie remains a wonderful place to live for all of us, and that our future remains bright. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Stephen. Linda?
So, good evening, everyone. My name is Linda Tucker. Almost 30 years ago, my husband and I moved to Bowie to raise our family. We bought our house in 1997, and we have raised 3 wonderful children there. This city has been a part of every chapter of our lives together. I have served with this committee in many different ways. Through civic committees, for my work with the Special Events Department. I serve young people through USA Swimming, and I'm on the board of a nonprofit that serves people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. I also fought for my community when it mattered the most. I worked with late Senator Peters to help stop the magnet train from ripping through District 1. I also faced personal challenges by battling stage 4 colon cancer, which taught me to resilience, gratitude, and to the importance of fighting when matters count. I'm running because I believe Bowie is in a crossroads. Residents are frustrated. They feel shut out of major decisions. They're worried about overdevelopment. They're concerned about reckless spending, and they want leadership that listens. I believe in transparent government. I believe in fiscal responsibility, and I believe that every resident, their voice should be heard. I also believe in working with community groups. So with that said, I'd like to thank you all.
Thank you, Linda. Dr. Moore?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Dr. Zipporah Miller. I'm the wife to Peter Miller and the proud mother of 2 young men, and blessed to have a bonus son as a part of our family. My family has called Bowie home for 20 years. We live in the Adna Woods community, and our children were raised here and attended most of their schooling right here in Bowie. Bowie is not simply where we live. It is where our family has built relationships, memories, and a deep sense of community. By profession, I'm an educator, and proud to have earned my master's degree right here at Bowie State University. At the core of who I am are 3 values: faith, family, and service, in that order. My faith grounds me in integrity and principles. It means that when difficult decisions arise, I will lead honestly and without compromising the values that matter. My family inspires me to be my best self, not just for them, but for the community that we share. Service is not just something that I do, it's a part of who I am. One of my proudest accomplishments was helping save Pointer Ridge Elementary School and securing a new autism program for Bowie students. I understood something that numbers alone could not capture. Pointer Ridge was the heart of its community. It was family. I also believe deeply in listening and empowering young people. I work closely with the student government at Bowie High School, being the first board member to give voice to students at that table. I want to serve because I believe Bowie is strongest when it has leadership that continues to listen, build on what's working, and turn thoughtful plans into meaningful action. I believe in purposeful planning followed by actionable steps, and my track record, it shows that. As your city council member for District 1, I will bring integrity, compassion, and action to every decision while working to protect the sense of family that makes Bowie.
Thank you. Carl?
My name is Carl Robinson. Everyone hear me okay? And of course, I'm running for the open seat in District 1 for your city council person. What is my background? I was born and raised in Washington, D.C. I have 5 children. I was married for 29 years. My wife is a doctor of veterinary medicine. I have a degree in accounting from the University District of Columbia. I have a degree in accounting from the University of the District of Columbia. And I have a master's in business administration from William & Mary. And I've also been selected to attend the War College. The Army selected me to attend War College at Fort McNair, and I received a Master's of Science there in National Security and Research Strategy. I've held a number of positions throughout my career. A lot has been involved with accounting and budget, being a division chief in charge of a lot of people, a lot of resources, hundreds of millions of dollars. I've always been called to service in the District of Columbia. I only have 30 seconds. In the District of Columbia, I started out as an advisory neighborhood commissioner. Then when I moved to Bowie, once we were annexed in, I raised my hand and volunteered for the Financial Advisory Committee and also the Administrative Review Board. So once I got to the Financial Advisory Committee, I was immersed in budget and a lot of other things. Given my background, it was a mesh finance director. It was great. Some of our products on the back table, if you had a chance, pull them up. So I only have 15 seconds left. But right now, the reason I'm running, I tell you why I'm not running, to build my resume. I don't need that. Why I am running is because Bowie is really in a precarious situation. So thank you, and I look forward to serving in the future.
Good evening. My name is Gary Allen, and I'm one of the facilitators of this particular conversation and this candidate event. And you just had the opportunity to hear from our candidates. Let me provide a little bit of additional background before I ask a couple questions to kick off this evening's conversation. First, I want to remind you that this event is being taped. It will be shown over local Bowie community television, and it will be shown on YouTube. It is being done by the courtesy of St. Matthew's United Methodist Church Outreach Committee. And the cameraman is George Wood, and the sound man is Steve Smith, if you want to know who are the volunteers that have stepped forth to put this together for us. I want to also recognize one of the persons that's present here this evening, and that is the former representative of District 1, and now Mayor Mike of the City of Bowie, who's seated in the back of the You know, this past week, many of you, I hope, went to the polls on Tuesday and voted. As a matter of fact, some of you may have been voted a little bit early. I have worked the polls many times, participated in elections, and then myself, as some of you know, a former elected official. And so it brings to my mind a couple of really interesting observations about this week's events. And that is, I want to start out with some numbers that should be perhaps familiar to some, but what we found out on election day is that far too few people even knew what these numbers represented. They are 5, 4, 23, and 1. You see, you're in the 5th U.S. Congressional District. You're in the 4th District Council District for Prince George's County. You're in the 23rd election district for the Maryland State Legislature, and you're in District 1 for the City of Bowie. You see, democracy is all about being informed. And what we found is that a great many people who participated in the election simply had no idea what districts they were in. And therefore, for the more than 150 candidates that lay before them, they had a tough time making a choice. And some of them delayed it down to the very last minute. And we thought that was unfortunate because, frankly, it probably wasn't as informed a decision as we might have preferred about some of the candidates and who prevailed and who didn't. Bottom line is, democracy requires informed citizens. It requires involved citizens. It requires citizens who take seriously their civic obligations, who are open to diverse opinions, and who value public service. So we're very pleased to be a part of this program because these folks have presented themselves for representatives here in District 1 of the City of Bowie. There are a couple issues that are simply perennial issues in Bowie, and they go back clear to the time when I served more than 30 years ago. You see, local government is meant to be the first line of responsibility, and therefore they say it is that government closest to the people. And what we noted in the earlier forum just a month or so ago, when we did it for the mayor candidates, citizens continually got up and said, I want better economic development, I want more jobs, I want better restaurants. But the continuous response when candidates sitting up here is, you know, Bowie doesn't have that responsibility. We don't have planning and zoning control. It's all at the county level. So making a decision about those other jobs frequently turns out to be as important, if not more so, for the kinds of things that we want and value than some of the decisions that we make about local candidates. What that raises is, if we don't have the responsibility, how can we hold them accountable? So let me ask my first question, and to do so I might also get it, is simply this. Of each of you, give you a minute to respond. What strategies do you believe the City Council of Bowie should implement to effectively gain planning authority from Prince George's County? And how would you prioritize citizen involvement to accomplish that? Who's up number one? Linda? Let's start with Linda.
Okay. So, the county is never going to give up power willingly. We're going to have to force the issue, which means going to our delegates and saying, going to the now county council member Adams, who was our mayor, and saying we need some control over our own livelihood. We need control over our own behavior. To do that, we just have to advocate for ourselves. I believe that the citizens need to get involved by community outreach, not by our government, but by people like the four of us maintaining constant communication whether we're elected or not, us being advocates and voices for our community to reach on to the next level. Because unless we do a grassroots effort, it's not going to make a difference what we say or do.
Go ahead. Sure.
I would echo something that my colleague just mentioned. It involves first listening to community members, and that's where we start. We are a community, and we represent you, and therefore the first thing that we do is we listen. The second is, I also know that they're not going to give up their reins real easy, just as you said. So it will involve, as we listen, to formulate a plan in a way in which we can come at united force to go to our county council, to go to our state delegates, and really advocate for what we need for our own city. So that will involve bringing the community together in forums such as this, knocking on doors and listening to community members, because some community members can't get to us. So it's not just about us holding forums for them to come to us, but we need to be willing to also go to them and meet them where they are. Once we put together a plan, then we work as a united force with the city to go to our county level, to our state level. And the one thing I do is I work collaboratively, and I've already worked with the District 23 team and with our county council.
Thank you. Carl?
Can you repeat the question, please?
Oh, the question basically is, what strategies do you believe the city council and Bowie should implement to effectively gain planning authority from Prince George's County government, and how would you prioritize community involvement to achieve it?
Thank you for the question. I don't look at any of these scenarios as us versus them. If you can't work collaboratively on whatever you're trying to achieve in this environment, you're going to be behind. Because Bowie is a small part of PG County. PG County would not want to see, Ms. Braidwood would not want to see Bowie fail. For what? There's no win. So there are people. If the doctor were there, I'd say, can I have lunch with you? Can we have lunch with you? And this is what we're trying to do. When this succeeds, you'll get the win. I'm not looking for ink in the paper. I'm looking for bringing Bowie up, and so it's a collaborative effort. So once they hear, oh, wait a minute, I can get a win off of this, and you're going to do all the legwork, great, we'll give you top cover. So as my colleague said, this is going to be a collaborative effort, but again, it's not an us versus them. It's a we. Thank you.
Thank you, Carl. Stephen?
Thank you. And I certainly agree with Mr. Robinson, honey and vinegar and all that. And now would be an extremely ideal time for us, and let's not get ahead of ourselves. Maybe we focus on planning authority first. We want to be in charge of our own vision. Organizations do best when those in the field, on the ground, are making the decisions. They're able to respond and react. We are embarking on some major infrastructure improvements. They're starting in Kenilworth later this year, and for the next 15 years, we're going to be improving and updating our infrastructure that is older than most of us in this room. And in order for that to make sense for us, we need to have a chance to coordinate that with our vision. You know, if we're able to make these types of improvements, we want it to coincide and align with the vision that we have for ourselves. And I think if you are paying any attention to what's going on at the county, you know, they are not necessarily in a position to preach to us about what's right or wrong. And I think that they are vulnerable at this time, and that, you know, we absolutely do need to come with a collaborative spirit, but that now would be the great time for us to at least get planning authority.
Thank you, Steve. Appreciate it very much. I thought the first
Welcome back to the Yellow Couch Stories. I'm your host, Brittany Nicole Montgomery, better known as the Disruptor host. And today we are in for a treat. We are honored to have international leader, humanitarian, advocate, and powerful voice for women and girls across the globe. Dr. Kaprece James is the founder and CEO of Stella's Girls Incorporated, a multinational organization empowering girls and women across 7 countries through leadership, development, education, and mentorship. She is also the CEO of DKG Global Consulting, where she develops leaders, strengthens organizations, and equips entrepreneurs to strive across international markets. With over 30 years of community service, Dr. James has built an extraordinary career rooted in advocacy, policy, and global impact. She has served on boards locally and internationally, including her role as former vice chair for the Diaspora for Femnet, the largest women's organization in Africa. She also serves as commissioner for the Maryland Commission for Women and chair of the Charles County Commission for Women. Her voice has been heard across conferences, universities, nonprofits, and international stages, always centered on empowering women, building economic opportunity, and transforming communities. Dr. James' work reflects the heart of this program and the mission of NAMBPWC, which is to promote and protect the interests of African American business and professional women by advancing leadership, economic development, and generational empowerment. Dr. Kaprece James, welcome to the Yellow Couch Podcast.
Thank you for having me, Brittany. I'm excited.
Of course, I'm excited to have you. And I know you told me I could call you Kaprece. However, our national president is Dr. Ford. And if I do not emphasize that doctor, because only 1% of the community has that, she's going to be very upset with me. So I'll call you Dr. Kaprece to get the best of both worlds.
Look, you got to look. Keep coming. Keep it coming.
So, you spent more than 30 years serving communities around the world. What moment or experience first ignited your commitment to women and girls?
Ooh, that's a hard one. I grew up in the South with elders, and since the age of 7, I had been in the community working and really working with elderly people at first. And so I would say probably middle school is when things started shaping around women and girls, but really in college when I joined NAACP and when I became a member of Delta Sigma Theta, that focus really shifted. But what honed in the way I do now is the work I started doing in West Africa 13 years ago.
Oh, wow.
I went to go and support youth as a whole, but being there, our girls didn't have access to education. And as a Black woman, you know, going to Africa, and they saw very few Black women, I knew that I really had to focus on our girls and make sure that our women had those opportunities for education. So it kind of led up from like over time, but really about 13 years ago when doing work in West Africa.
I love that. So you are a social entrepreneur, author, humanitarian, and international leader. Where do you find the time? How did your personal journey from Savannah State to the global stage shape your purpose for your life?
You know, I'll tell you, anybody that knows me knew that I wanted to be a civil rights attorney.
Ooh,
that was my actual path. And then I married a Marine. And my life changed. And I had to sacrifice going to law school as my husband was going to war. And so I had always been still engaged in the community. But it was really when I started moving every 2 to 3 years, the work that was needed in the community is what shaped it. And so 10 years ago now, starting with Stella's Girls and DKJ Global, I started them at the same time. I realized I had an answer for social problems sometimes because every community was very different. But when I would go to a different community, it was something I saw in a previous one and something we had already tackled. And so that is what made my work and my experiences. Being a military spouse, you learn how to deal with everything.
You learn how to pivot.
You pivot. My whole life pivoted. I was a planner. I planned my life completely out. I planned it out, and God said, "You got something else for you." I thought, and this journey has been amazing. But because of the work that I did at Savannah State, being involved in the community orgs, it has prepared me as a professional now. And so I tell people, HBCUs give you the best experience you don't even realize until you become an adult and you're competing with other professionals. And you realize, oh yeah, you didn't learn that? Oh, I learned that. You didn't have experience in that. So that exposure, and I mean, I laugh now. I never knew I would be in the international space. But in college, I helped start our first Model UN. And who would have known? Now I have my own badge to the UN. So so looking back now is where I'm starting to see, these seeds were being planted.
That's how God works.
God is an interesting thing.
He is.
But that is really what shaped. I mean, every year I'm like, wow. I'm like, this is where I am now. And I look back and go, they said, oh, don't you want to be an educator? No, I want to be a lawyer. And I've become an educator. You know, so that is the experience.
I love that. So this platform, the Yellow Couch Stories, is about Black women who faced adversity and kept going. What is one defining obstacle you faced in your leadership journey, and how did you push through?
I would say I have been pretty much blessed because of the opportunities that I have had. You know, the biggest adversity for me is starting over every time. As a military spouse, you have to start over your life every 2 to 3 years. And so I would not accept certain leadership roles because I knew I was going to leave them. And so when you stifle your progression in career, because, you know, I'm gonna have to give this up. You know, so that is probably the big adversity for me, is having to dumb my skills down. I used to get turned down for jobs because I had too much experience. You know, many of us have been there before, right? And so I would have to accept jobs that I was like, okay, I can do your job and this, manager's
And that
job
job,
and the
yeah.
supervisor's job. I already have that experience. But when you're hopping 2 or 3 years, you can't really grow.
Right.
And so I would say that would be the biggest. But at the same time, it allowed me to hone in even more on my leadership skills and working with people. And so, my staff and my team from that, we're a big family.
Right.
And I realized I've cultivated families just around the globe because of my experiences and have worked at every level.
I love that.
So, but that would probably be the biggest adversity for me, is not being able to truly shine the way I needed to.
And that is a story that most Black women just resonate with, and we really, really share, having to dim our light, whether it's for this person, that person, or another.
Mm-hmm.
So that is a adversity that just really transcends across all Black women.
It's we the military spouses say it all the time that I had to do it for 18 years. 18 years, and so now I feel like I'm in my space of being able to shine the way I really want to. But it's also hard, because you've had to dim so much, and so now
you don't know how to. Do you know how to shine?
Right.
Yeah.
I get fussed at a lot.
Yeah, you gotta let that light shine. So Stella's Girls empowers young women across 7 countries. What economic or leadership gaps did you see that made you say, I have to build this, I have to change this?
Oh, so when starting in Liberia 13 years ago, the work we were doing was arts education.
Okay.
And what was happening is when I would leave Liberia, the boys would reach out, Auntie, I need money for school. We're talking $25.
Right.
I got no reach out. No girls reached out to me. And my girls had the same access to me as the boys.
Right.
And so I went back a year and I convened all of our girls to see what the problem was. Period poverty, which everybody is very aware of now. I mean, I started doing that work 13 years ago because that was the reason why girls were going to school.
Right.
They didn't have $25. Okay, we spend that in coffee.
Oh, yeah.
Just
spend
going
that on a cocktail at brunch.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so when I realized it was those barriers, and it was the same for several women in those countries, because civil wars made those women stop going to school,
right,
and they didn't have the access. I mean, most of the women were living off $5 a month. Imagine having to live off $5 a month and take care of your children. So I realized I had the resources and I had enough people in my circle that could support, and is what made me start Stella's Girls, because I'm like, I can do this.
Right.
Like, oh, I have an answer for that. I know people that'll spend $25 to put a girl in school, and so that is what started. I mean, it was really just for the education piece, and it's just grown into something so much more over these last almost 10 years now. So,
and so this is a new question, but I always have to ask, where did you come? Who is Stella?
Stella is my great grandmother.
I figured.
Yeah, so her name was Estelle Weaver, but everybody called her Stella.
Okay.
And so I am so big on education because she did not have the opportunity to finish school after 8th grade.
Okay.
And so she had to stop and take care of her aunts. Her parents died before she was even 5.
Okay.
And I grew up with my great grandmother. My mom, she raised my mom, she raised us. And when it came time, when God kind of did that tap of, you're going to focus on these girls, what am I going to call this org?
Yeah.
And I thought about all the things that have always been in my mind. Get your education, make sure you serve your community. And it was because of Stella. And I was like, oh, I'm Stella's girl.
Yeah.
That's the name. That's the name.
Yeah, that's it.
So that is who Stella is my great grandmother.
I love that. I love when we pay tribute to our ancestors that helped us get to where we are today. So what does economic empowerment look like in the context of your work in Liberia, Sierra Leone, and beyond?
Ooh, so, for people that don't know much about those countries, especially, I mean, it's such a, Liberia is important to Black Americans. That's where free slaves were.
Right.
But also Sierra Leone is where slaves left. And most people, always equate to Ghana, but Sierra Leone is where it started before, they went to Ghana, went to these other countries. And so They haven't they recovered at one point, but when those civil wars happened, you know, almost 20 years ago, it destroyed. So what they don't have is access to training, access to the education. So being able to provide a young person the opportunity to go to high school. Because most of them, up to eighth grade is guaranteed. Okay. But if they don't have the money, so like my youth are way in the village. There's no stores, there's no running water, there's no lights.
Okay.
And so, but being able to provide our girls with access to go to school and then be able to put them in conferences that train them, that has allowed them and their families, and we provide their families with money to help continue. The girls are,
so it's holistic. It's cyclical. Yeah.
It is a holistic approach because for girls, your job is to work in the markets to help your parents. And so they changed those laws, but it's very hard when you have a place where it's like, okay, I don't have money, but I need somebody to go sell at the market.
Right.
And so if I can give your parent $20, and that lasts you for a whole month to start, but then we realize, okay, let me give you $50. And so now we've created a system where now the parent has, and usually it's the mom, or sometimes in cases where we've had, it's been a sister, you know, an older sister that has provided. They can now provide for the household by being able to grow their business. Usually it's farming, or maybe it's creative or hair or something. And then for the kids, they're able to go to school, and then they're able to continue and go to trainings. And so that is building the basis of economic. And then some of our youth go on to build businesses or go into the city.
I love that.
And so
that is just what NAMBPWC is about. Building those businesses, helping people to thrive so that they have that financial security and giving them that financial literacy. I know our national president says she wants to create an ecosystem of millionaires and billionaires. And that's what you are doing. So that is very commendable. I love that.
Yeah, definitely. Africa's the place to go.
Yes. So we mentioned this before, but the NAMBPWC mission focuses on promoting and protecting the interests of African American business and professional women. And how else does Stella's Girls advance that mission on a global scale? And we just touched on this, but how else do we do that?
So being able to expose our African American businesses or Black American businesses to our African markets, that's an area that's very untapped. There are so many opportunities for Black Americans to go to Africa and invest, because not only are you investing in the infrastructure of these countries that barely need it, they also need our technical skills, but you're now providing an opportunity for their people to be able to grow. Because what happens is when you have other countries come in, they bring their people.
Right.
And so, you know, for us, all of my programs are run by the local youth. They're not, I don't bring in outside Americans to run our program. I train our local youth, and our local youth in their communities are the ones that are doing the work.
So again, that's like,
exactly.
Because they can knowledge is something that you can never take away from anyone.
Take it away.
So now, even if they leave you, which we hope we don't, but they can go on and take that knowledge that you've given them to do whatever else it is that they need to do.
Exactly. And they have. It's been amazing to see some of our young people who are now adults, and to see what they're doing in their space and know that you had a part. But they're always still family, right? You know, there's a young lady that she has 2 kids now, but she is traveling all over the world, like doing blogging